ask me, what's your problem, man? And to be fair, I've been trying to figure that out. Okay. So let's just jump into this. Growing up, my grandfather in Indiana, my mom's dad, really good guy, worked real hard. But man, when I tell you he would go on these autistic, never-ending, like psychotic rants about, the government and just certain things in general. Federal Reserve, money printing, these kind of things, and how we have to protect democracy and freedom and all these different things. Like, I'm not exaggerating you, and I know a lot of grandparents are that way, but he was really something else, because it was like, I genuinely, I'm not trying to say this in a mean way, I'm trying to be as genuine as I can. I think he has had like Alzheimer's or something, and he's still alive, but he'd get into this mode, man, where it would ruin our day. It would ruin our fucking day. And I'm talking like, my cousin and I, my cousin's older than me, my mom's older sister's son. We were living with my grandfather in Indiana after high school. I went over there because I had a big life decision to make. Was I going to go there? Because he'd always made it like this weird competition where he wanted to win this competition. But come to find out, it's just this narcissistic competition he wanted to win, where I come work for him instead of the other side of my family, my stepdad's side of the family. And so I finally go over there, and it's no fun at all. It's just hell, because he just wants to rant about his ex-wife and the government, like psychotically. Like he wouldn't stop. And we're like, we get it. It's a broken record, man. Let's solve the problem. So the point why I'm trying to give you just a small taste of what I dealt with every day was because, I guess subliminally, logically, I concluded that if we can solve this problem, this Federal Reserve issue, my grandpa will be happy. Not only will he be happy, but he'll be super happy and proud of me, right? And so what's crazy is I've invented this new solution for currency. And it's something that you've never seen before, and it's so profoundly simple. It's electronic. It puts Bitcoin to shame. It puts everything to shame. You can take all the cons that exist with Bitcoin and currency, and I've actually made a list of them that I put up on Facebook the other day. Let me see if I can find it real quick, and I can read them off to you, just to keep this video. About Bitcoin, so it's hard to find. Anyhow, let me see something here. Let me type in a different word. Okay, here we are. Gold isn't good for currency because hassles of accurate denominations and verifying purity. So say you want to go buy a pack of gum, you got to shave off this little bit of gold, then they got to verify that it's real gold, all this stuff. So it's a pain in the butt. So it's not a good currency. Gold backing a currency is also flawed because there are many huge gold mines which make random landowners financial gods. The gold supply can be quadrupled pretty quickly if all the mines start operating, okay? And as the gold prices start to rise, the paper and coin computer currencies, which the gold backs, can still be counterfeited by random bad guys. So I want you to understand this, because it's really important, because by random bad guys being able to still counterfeit regular money, and then by gold being exchangeable for it, those bad guys can make off with the gold, okay? And then it collapses the central bank, whoever has to supply the gold. So a lot of people don't want to talk about that part. A lot of people don't understand that one of the reasons why they got away from the gold standard is because of what I just explained. It's because the banks knew that they were going to go bankrupt having to supply gold to counterfeiters. They couldn't do it. They couldn't stay solvent. Okay? So, and originally you just have the government in Ben Franklin's time who has the ability to do these big printing presses, right? But then after a while, you get other nations and you get people, they figure out it's the telephone book paper. So all these people, and this is one of the things I want to talk about in this video, people like my grandfather and even my best friends who are stuck on this gold standard thing. It's like ranting lunatics. I try to explain this stuff to them and it doesn't absorb. And it's just, and that really is a paradox for me, because it makes me question, does humanity even need to be freed from this? Because at least we know that the people running the Federal Reserve are logical, whereas the rest of you just don't seem to be. And you would think that if I say, okay, here's the problems, you'd think that people would be like, okay, Brandon, so you're saying you have a solution? I want to hear it. People don't even want to go that far. They're not even interested. It's this lunatic rant. This Alzheimer's, brain damage, lunatic rant that everybody's on. And I genuinely do have the solution that solves all these things, guys. Like, I really do. Before you say it's Bitcoin, Bitcoin has its flaws too, and I solve those. Gold doesn't mandate that extra currency is or is not printed, created, and they can manipulate the gold prices up and down. So for instance, let's say you have a gold-backed system, right? And let's say they print a bunch of extra currency, and you're like, okay, well, now's the time to buy gold. And then let's say they reduce the amount of currency to where there's less currency than gold. You say, well, now it's time to go back to the dollars. And you can sit there and say, no, that's why there's the 1-for-1 exchange rate. But what I'm telling you is, hypothetically, if you knew there were less dollars than there is the exchange rate of gold, you'd be a fool not to go to dollars. Because even though everybody says dollars are 1-for-1 for gold, you'd say, no, I'd rather just keep the dollar. It's worth more technically because there's less of them. You see what I'm saying? So people's minds, they don't really understand. It's like saying, I declare all Corvettes are $100,000. Okay, that's nice, but back here in capitalistic society, that's not how it works, dipshits. And a lot of people can't understand this. You try to explain it to them, they don't understand. Gold doesn't have serial numbers, and if it does, they can be melted away anytime, and thus gold can be used as like a magic trick, where they basically have multiple different storage areas and they conceal what they have, and they try to make it look like they have more than they have, and gold is heavy and bulky, it's hard to transport. Gold is virtually impossible to recover. Prove if a thief steals it and melts it down quickly. There's no more serial number. Now let's talk about Bitcoin. Bitcoin has huge flaws as well. Needs huge computing processors, slow to process for transactions, huge fees. 50% attacks can still game it. If you don't know what a 50% attack is, you need to look it up. AI will likely be able to hack, since AI is a pyramid of control. All AI controls all other AI. There's going to be a king AI, basically, like a rat king. There's going to be like the AI who's in charge of all the other AI. And this is a topic that I don't think humanity's come to grips with yet. Elon Musk doesn't tell you about it. Oracle doesn't tell you about it. Bezos doesn't tell you about it. Bill Gates doesn't tell you about it. Nobody tells you these simple realities about AI, that there's going to be a king of the AI, and all the other AI are going to answer to that one AI, whether you understand that or not. So then, Bitcoin is too complicated for the average Joe to even understand how it really works, okay? The Bitcoin issuance / inflation rate isn't consistent with population. So it's like all these people who are just like, they've picked a team and now they want to argue it. No, my team is best. I agreed with that guy over there and I fought with my friends about it And since I found with my friends about the gold standard, I found with my friends about Bitcoin, I found with my friends about this, now it needs to be true, otherwise I look really stupid, and I don't want to look really stupid, I want to be really smart. So that's the issue that I'm dealing with. I'm dealing with baby girls. I mean, people cannot even have a conversation. And you say, okay, Brandon, who cares? Honestly, guys, I'm getting to that point. There's other things bad about Bitcoin too, but I'm done reading. Because I got to pay attention here. But the thing is this, guys. I got to see where I'm going. When you're me, and all the people who you thought you were going to make happy, whether it's your grandfather or your other grandfather, or finally impress your stepdad, who's passed away, by the way, and he wanted to be, you know, his family kind of did him wrong potentially, and I looked at these websites and these patents and all these different things as an opportunity to be like, his name was Frank, and you just say, hey Frank, you know, we don't need the family. I'm not saying we tell them to go pound sand, but we've made it. I've got these inventions, we're fine. You can be proud of me and proud of us that we accomplished this, and quit feeling insecure about life. And that was really one of my big goals. I wanted to get to that point, and then he passed away right as I was about to finish everything. And his father cut me off from support while I was getting this stuff finished, because I cut them a deal where I was like, I'll pay you guys back double what you loaned me. I just want to get these patents finished. And in 2017, 18, they cut me off, and they're like, no, we don't believe. They just declared they don't believe in my ideas, and that's a complicated issue too, because their grandfather used to run around with Al Capone, and I think that they realized that my ideas go up against the world banks and all these different things. And they realized, they're like, Brandon, you're not going to win this war. So it's just it's been a very sad story. If I were to put it up on film, it's been very sad. So then you say, okay, well, you have your friends, right? Your best friends from high school and your other best friends that have helped you along the way who believe in this stuff. You would think the answer is yes, but the answer is no. Because when I try to talk to them about this stuff, guys, I'm not kidding you, I feel like I'm in a fucking nightmare. They interrupt me, and I just can't describe to you how hideously stupid these idiots sound to me. They don't listen to reason. And then it's like, oh, hey, Brandon, I gotta go. And it's unfucking real to me, the level of disrespect. And so I had to snap the other day, not because I think it's going to actually change any of my friends or anything like that, but I had to snap for my own well-being. That's like, enough's enough. I got to draw a line in the sand here, guys. This is a really big deal. I've devoted years of my life, my free time, instead of partying and drinking and having a good time and going golfing and going to the football game and doing this and going to the movies and doing that and having friends over. I've devoted years of thought to try to solve these problems, because I thought that it's what humanity, if not at least my friends and family, wanted solved. And when I try to talk to people about it, people are fucking nasty. They refuse to believe that I could have solved the problem. And I swear to God, on my little sister's life, I've solved the problem, guys. I have an invention that works top to bottom. I mean, it's unbelievable what it does. And so when you realize that my friends have all taken the stance where if I am right now, they're going to hold a grudge because they've already drawn their line in the sand, where it's like, no, we don't believe you. We don't believe you. We don't need to give you the courtesy to listen to what you have to say. And when you realize the people who run the Federal Reserve orchestrate wars and can easily have assassins and snipers and whatever come after me, okay? And if you realize that their whole defense about why this stuff needs to exist is because they need to maintain control, because humanity is not logical. The democracy is not going to provide the best solutions. I don't have a leg to stand on, guys, because my own friends who I deemed were smart people. And so I'm just really depressed because I feel like I've wasted years of my life. And even if you say, okay, fine, I'll join the bad guy team. The bad guy team doesn't want you unless you got a whole bunch of money. And you know, so it's a fucking nightmare. It's really got me sideways right now. I've just been spending time alone, thinking to myself, like, what am I going to do with this? And then the real icing on the cake is the Antichrist prophecies and how he's going to have 666 in his name, and how my logo for a long time has been lowercase BBB since I was 13 years old. And they say that he's going to release this currency and he's going to impress everybody. So you sit there and you say, okay, is it potentially possible that somehow these world elite people have the ability to see into the future, even if it's just they meditate all the time and they see what's going to be their demise because the universe reveals it to them, okay? Whatever it is, whether it's spiritual or they actually have a fucking time machine, they basically say that there's going to be that this guy who releases his currency is going to be a game changer. And when you realize that the current world leaders violently throw fits, they orchestrate violence and throw fits when you try to take their power away, whether it's for a greater good because they're trying to suppress super weapons, they don't trust us, so they say we have to maintain control, or whether it's just for selfish motives, like just immature selfish motives, we should say, because let's call a spade, not wanting to get blown up by super weapons, that's a good selfish motive that we can all agree on, okay? And therein lies the issue. It's like the Federal Reserve and the super weapon suppression kind of goes hand in hand because it's what funds the enlightened people at the top to be able to fund all the boots on the ground to suppress these super weapons. And the boots on the ground can be college professors, the boots on the ground can be all kinds of different things who intentionally lie to humanity. And so once you understand that it's possible that there needs to be lies, and once you realize that it's because people like my own best friends and family who complain about a problem, they don't actually want the solution. They're not even smart enough to get excited about the solution. Like if I made a movie right now, and I'm not trying to sound like an asshole, but I'm just being genuine. If I made a movie right now and explained my story, my life story, my invention, and then showed how my friends behave relative to my invention, they would be embarrassed. They'd probably commit suicide once it finally like clicks in their mind and the sheep, the herd, leaves them and draws the line in the sand and says, no, dumb fucks, you're over there. You're the ones who derailed Brandon over and over because you couldn't even have a polite, civilized, educated, intelligent conversation with the guy. So it's like people don't know what it's like, how painful it is to be excluded from the herd. Obviously, I've gone through it on purpose by choice, and it is very painful. But these other people who want to just gold standard, Bitcoin. Okay, these idiots who they just want to be part of a herd, in my opinion. They don't realize the pain that's going to come when I tell the world the truth. Once the whole herd says, yeah, we agree with Brandon, or even a good chunk of the herd, yeah, we agree with Brandon. Then when my friends want to join that team's going to be like, no. Don't you guys see? When Brandon tried to tell you guys about it, you told him he was wrong. You don't belong here. You're the dipshits. And I don't think it's really computed in these guys' minds that that's a possibility. Like, I don't think it's clicked. The amount of shame to the point of, like, suicide that they might consider, because it's going to depress them so much once they realize how stupid they were. And that's not my goal. My goal isn't to try to rub in my friends' faces, I'm right and you're wrong. My goal is like, what the fuck is wrong with humanity? Why is my life a nightmare? Why is there this prophecy that says that if I release this thing that all my closest friends and family have said will solve the problem over the years? Why is it that I become Satan? I'm the Antichrist if I release a solution that everybody's been begging for. So it's really crazy. And I've got a lot of other inventions too, but it's the story that matters, guys. You can't just sit here and tell me that, oh, just release the invention, everything's gonna be fine. There's way more to this. There's a story that needs to be reconciled here to figure out what's wrong with us, humanity. Because there's definitely something wrong. First and foremost, I'm just being blunt, guys. You guys can't invent a solution to save your fucking lives. Because this solution, once you see it, is not that complicated. It's really simple. It's simpler than Bitcoin. It functions with our current banking system. They don't have to invent new computers, new software. Everything that currently exists works just fine. And the craziest part about it is this thing is like, it can be attached as a piggyback to Bitcoin, and it can be attached as a piggyback to the US dollar to make them both behave properly, to solve both of their problems. And then what will happen is you'll start to use this piggyback thing as the contracts to exchange the Bitcoin, because you'll realize that the processing power needed to exchange the Bitcoin is too much. You say, we can just use this other system Brandon's invented to exchange the Bitcoin. But then the eventual reality is we don't even need the Bitcoin. The Bitcoin's just a hassle. Brandon's system is the solution. It doesn't need the Bitcoin. So, strategically, I can release this thing and say, hey guys, this makes Bitcoin bulletproof. And the whole crypto world will be like, see, we told you, Bitcoin's the solution. Brandon, high five. And then it's just a matter of time until like the low IQ fools read the rest of the patent. Because if I don't patent the rest, then somebody else is going to figure it out and patent it and say, you don't even need the Bitcoin. You just use this invention. Brandon's so stupid. No, so I have to put that in the patent so it's protected. And then the rest of the world finally realizes, like, you got rid of Bitcoin. Yeah, didn't you want to solve this problem? Yeah, but I said Bitcoin was the solution, and now you made me look stupid. My Bitcoins are worth nothing. So yeah, you guys are no different than the people at the Federal Reserve when it's all said and done. And therein lies the paradox. Sitting here, you guys telling me that the people who run the Federal Reserve are evil, you guys are no different. If all of a sudden I make your Bitcoins worth zero, you guys are throwing the same fucking fit and becoming violent. You're the same pieces of shit. You're the same level of shit as the people at the Federal Reserve. You're just less educated. That's what it comes down to. Morally, you're the same piece of shit. So yeah. Same thing with gold. If all of a sudden I release this thing and then it becomes evident that you don't need gold anymore to back anything, and gold's never going to be the backing again of anything, and you realize this really is the solution. Gold is just what it is for material of use as far as wires and circuitry goes. Gold's going to fall in value. See ya.